And this is not the only time the Crown Prince is being a creep. He is at a restaurant the main character Mel Lead is at, and he tries giving the main character wine, which is again is a big no-no, and the Mel Lead puts his foot down on it. But yes, this dude tried giving a married person wine, and specifically a married wife wine, which is a no-no in their society. And he still tried doing that. So the main character and the Mel Lead, they go to the temple to visit the Imperial Proctor. He only sees the Mel Lead, and he basically tells the Mel Lead, like he said before, that the Mel Lead has chances of another life. His relationship with the main character basically outright states that he will just repeat getting into new bodies, practically, that fate will just know that if he will return. And I'm like, this dude, he sees. I need to know more about this dude. This dude, I'm watching him. I'm keeping my eyes on him. He knows more than he's giving on. But he's basically also giving all the information, but at the same time not giving any information. Like, dude, who are you? Are you a literal god? Like, what kind of immortal are you? Like, I need to know. Crown Prince, he's also at the temple, and he's basically leering at the main character, telling the main character once his husband dies that he's taking the main character into his harem, and the main character's not going to be able to do anything about it. And the main character's like trying to put his foot down as best as he can because he doesn't want this dude anywhere near him. He's making this dude know this. But this dude is literally one of the types of people that when you tell him no, he's not taking no. The more you deny him, the more he's going to want you. And the Mel Lead even tells this to the main character later down. He's like, yeah, this is what type of dude he is. Also, this dude doesn't even see you as yourself. He sees you as a substitute because he used to be in love with a maid that was a childhood friend of his, and then she was married off to somebody else. So he keeps looking for people who remind him of that maid. And the main character has a mole like her and eyes like her, and so he badly desires the main character for these reasons. And the more the main character denies him, the more he wants the main character too. So the sister-in-law, to help her mother, because her mother is now in a dire situation, and her brother is also in a dire situation, she wants to do the best she can. So she wants to marry the Crown Prince. She's also desiring the Crown Prince for her own heart desires. So she's trying to chase that tail. And the Crown Prince, he sets out to find concubines and consorts, and she and another girl are chosen to be his concubine consorts, which, confuses me. They're not allowed to give certain gifts that could cause friction between their relationship with the Empress, the Emperor, and the consort, the mother of the Crown Prince, and the Crown Prince, but she can marry the Crown Prince. I'm confused about that. Can someone explain to it? Because again, politics ain't my thing. We all know this. But yes, she ends up getting into the Crown Prince's arms. And the reason why he chooses her is because she realizes the Crown Prince desires the main character. And she, finding out the main character had a satchel that had the smell that the Crown Prince liked, took that satchel for herself. And the main character knew this would happen. So he basically tricks her into taking the satchel because after his scene with the Crown Prince, him and the Mel Lead makes a scene of their arguing and fighting over the main character, making the Crown Prince desire him and wanting to abandon him for the Crown Prince. She hears this and uses the statue to her advantage. Like, yeah, that is literally what happens. So the main character, his plan starts with a satchel, like I said, and he gets this satchel and information he needs from the royal family and the royal palace through his father and his father's second student. The first student of his father is that pest the main character does not get along with, and the second student the main character does get along with. And with them, he's able to get information that he needs to try to get rid of the Crown Prince through a satchel and sense. And this would practically impact them. Like, the father is already going to be in trouble and be executed for the main character's crime of trying to commit treason, but this dude is now also impacted because of the main character's actions. And the two servants he got help him sneak stuff out of the palace to give to the main character are also going to be impacted. They don't know the plans. They just give the main character herbs and information that he's wanting. He's literally putting these people's lives in danger so he could get rid of the Crown Prince, who is sleazy and wants him after the Mel Lead dies. Because him and the Mel Lead are trying to get rid of this dude before the Mel Lead dies. And I'm like, these poor people are going to basically get executed because of the main character's actions. Like, I was so worried for them. Now, like Melite said, the crown prince, at first he takes the sister-in-law as his concubine, but later he basically gets bored of her. But again, this woman is not going to back off. She's going to try to get the crown prince to notice her more, even if he's tired of her already. Like, it's just been a few days and he's already bored of her. But he also starts noticing that he's getting badly sick. And his mother, she starts searching into why her child is getting sick. They don't find anything in his room. They don't find anything in any one of his 2 consorts' rooms. Like, yes, they do find the satchel, but again, there's nothing in the satchel that could be dangerous. Now, the reason why they're searching is because the crown prince, he had saw one of his brothers die from poisoning, so he's very strict what comes into his palace and any of his consorts' palace. Like, very, very strict. This is why the main character came up with the method he did come up with. Because again, this is the only way they could try to get rid of the crown prince, because this man is suspicious to poisoning because of what happened to his brother. Well, sooner or later, the main character's like, oh, well, I'm going to have the guy, the second student, my father, reveal why this guy is getting sick, the crown prince is getting sick. It's because of the satchel of the sister-in-law and the 2 rooms. Because he goes and visits his mother and the empress also, and with the 2 smells coming from the 2 women's room, and that satchel is basically making him badly sick. And so the sister-in-law, not needed anymore, and is basically thrown into the cold palace. Yeah, the main character's like, I don't need her anymore, so I'll throw her out. And the second student, my father's, will be rewarded for finding the issue with the crown prince. So yes, he does allow this guy to get a reward, and he's not impacted because of the main character's schemes. But sadly, the crown prince does survive the main character's schemes, and he still lives. So the main character is like, I'll have to try again later. So the main character, Melly, they go visit the main character's father. They find out that Melly doesn't have very much long to live. They also find out that his father is going to go to the battlefield to take care of a dying soul general, and I'm pretty sure this general is the 2nd reincarnation of the Melide, and the 3rd reincarnation I'm pretty sure is the sickly prince of the empress. Those are the ones I think the Melide is supposed to hop into next. I know his 3rd life is basically a higher emperor position. I know this fact because the description for this book on a website literally describes all his lives, which ones are his lives. But yeah, the main character's dad is going to go rescue the Melide's 2nd reincarnation's life. Fun! So the main character, he finally does believe that the Melide is a reincarnator. They have conversations about it. Like, they fully don't talk about it, but they do talk about it. Like, they talk about the Melide's death in his past life and what kind of person he was in his past life. Like, the main character kind of figured it out himself. But yes, they have this conversation, and the Melide basically tells the main character to wait for him, that he's pretty sure he will be reincarnated again, and that he will come back for the main character. And he tells the main character, here is a password for you to know it is me. Just wait for me, okay? Please just wait. You don't have to wait for long, but please try at least to wait. And they're also planning his funeral during this period of time again, because he's gonna die.